Michigan. And so I heard him say something about, oh, well, you know, if Corey can't do it, if 217 recovery can't do it, then Scott might be able to, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. So back to my drive, you know, and the car I have lets you know when you're going to run out of gas, which is great. It's been pretty accurate so far. I've never run out of gas. Close. So I'm about 10 miles off, like for the good. Like I could have made it to my destination, but then I had 10 miles, and then I would have to find a gas station, and I would already had the person in the car. And it's like, let me stop before. And I hate when I stop. When you see a sign for a gas station, Speedway, Shell, I'm like, all right, perfect. And then you get off, and then you look, and there's none. There's like a field of cows and weeds and nothing. And you see a sign that's like, gas station 5 miles that way. Like, you bastards tricked me. Like, you should not put that out there. You should have put 5 miles off the freaking road. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to drive to your city, help your economy out. I'm just trying to get some gas, and I'm gonna gas and go. So I'm looking, you know, like as I get up to the, you know, the exits, I'm like, nope. If I don't see it right there, I'm not stopping. And so then I started getting down like 100 miles to go. And it was like 90 miles to go. And I was like, I should probably stop soon. And I was like, you know what, God? I was like, you let me know when to stop. And I said that out loud. And I finally, boom, find one right off the road. Bam. I think it was a Speedway. And I go in after I gas up, go in, use the restroom. And I come out, and there's this guy just kind of staring at me, you know, and I'm like, not that way, homie. And he went in the bathroom, and I was like, all right. So then I start looking for something to munch on. You know, I was like, I need a protein bar, or candy bar, or something. So I'm kind of standing there, and it takes me forever to make a decision in life. So the guy comes back out, and he walks up, and I had my 217 Recovery hoodie on, my white hoodie with the black 217 Recovery podcast logo on it. And he comes up, and he's like, hey, he's like, 217 Recovery. He's like, you part of that, you know? And I was like, yeah. And I kind of looked up, and I realized I was standing there in the candy aisle, meeting the president of United to Face Addiction Michigan. Mm-hmm. UFAM.
Yeah. Scott
Massey. And I'm like, Scott. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, so you're the one there, blah, blah, blah. And we started chatting, and then we start talking about recovery. And it's just like, he's a pretty big, influential person in the recovery world. And here I am, just by God's chance, I told God, hey, tell me when to get off, you know, the freeway. And boom, I run right into him at that exact moment. Like if I'd have left 2 minutes later that day, if I'd have drove a little bit slower, a little bit faster, like, I mean, it was just, I don't know. There's coincidence, and then there's like, I wonder if that's going to come back to, yeah, I know Corey, you know, like, because we talked for about 5-10 minutes right there, you know, just in the candy aisle about recovery. People thought we were nuts. We were just talking about addiction, you know, and helping people, and, you know, the COVID, and how COVID's kind of good because it's really bringing out other options for people, sort of, you know, as far as like, you know, for us to get people to treatment and not have to be stuck on the bus and, you know, going to those bus stations, and you can get anything there, you know, and it's just like, all right, now this is kind of opening people's eyes, and this is great. And it's not great at the same time because, you know, people are isolating, and it's shutting down the meetings. And I don't know, people just probably were like, these two are nuts. But they could tell we were passionate. So
no, they probably didn't think you were nuts. They probably were interested or intimidated. I've gotten that kind of look, like, what in the world are they talking about? Like, am I interrupting something that I shouldn't be hearing? People think it's supposed to be like secret.
And he probably went home and told his family, oh my gosh, you guys, you're never going to believe I met Corey Winfield today. The gas station, saw him coming out of the bathroom, and I just stared at him, and he stared me back in the eye, and I saw him get some candy, and I was like, hey man, you're Corey Winfield.
There you go.
Sign my arm. No, he didn't say that, but no, but yeah, it was cool though. It really was. And it's just like one of those things. It's like, wait a minute, like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, I just prayed like, God, let me know. And then boom, you know, something like that happens. And it was weird because I never usually get the receipt either. And for some reason I'm like, yeah, let me get the receipt. And I got the receipt. And then, like, later I was thinking, I was like, I can't wait to tell Marnie about this, like, how crazy it was. And I don't remember the city I was in. I have no idea. It was just some middle of nowhere kind of town, you know. And then I was like, oh, the receipt, you know, and it was Auburn, Michigan.
There you go.
I guess the Palace of Auburn Hills is over there, maybe somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. But, well, I guess it wasn't Auburn Hills. It was Auburn. But either way, that was pretty cool. So fast forward to this morning. And, you know, I started feeling a little bit better with the sickness thing. And I don't know, last night I just couldn't sleep. And maybe slept a couple hours. But then I woke up. And you woke up and you were about to get ready for work, but you wanted like 20 more minutes or something. And then, so I'm laying there. And here comes Nico, my beautiful kitty cat. And she jumps up and she's wanting to cuddle. And so she lays down and she gets under my arm. And I don't know, it's really comfortable and it's crazy at the same time. So I'm laying there and I'm thinking to myself, where was I 2 years ago? You know, like, and where I'm at today is just an amazing place. I'm laying there. I got you on my right shoulder, not wanting to get out of bed and wanting to lay there with me, wanting to be with me. You love me. And I got my cat who's like, I don't know, it's a cat, you know, but she loves me and wants to be with me, you know, and lay on me. And it's just like, wow. Like, I don't know. It was just a moment. Like, because I set the alarm for like 20 minutes because you're like, just 20 more minutes. I just want to lay on you. Mm. And so I set it for 20 minutes and I just sat there and enjoying and then thinking about how lucky I am today that I'm not in active addiction. Because I wouldn't have you who loves me. I wouldn't have my cat. Nico hated when I drank. And, you know, and here I am. How lucky am I? You know, I'm doing something that I love. You know, I'm helping people out. I don't know. It was just amazing. I just took 20 minutes and I just thought about it and I took it all in. And I really, really am grateful. And I got to give all that credit to God.
Absolutely.
You know, it was just one of those moments where I don't think we take enough time sometimes. I think life is just so busy and we're always got to do this, got to do that, got to be there, got to help that, do this, to just take it in for a minute. Mm-hmm. You know, and I had 20 good minutes to just take it in and Nico purring and you kind of snoring, but you weren't snoring. But I don't know. It was really amazing. It really was. Like I said, I got to thank God for that because without the journey that I had to go through, without all the relapses, without going to jail, without, you know, all those experiences of treatment and mental hospitals, but it was just the journey that I had to go on. I'm just so grateful. You know, at the time I didn't know why. I remember asking God, why could this keep happening? And, you know, there's a purpose for it. And it's funny because that person I picked up, on the way back, they were like talking about the place they were at. They had a really good therapist and it was somebody who was in recovery. And this person expressed their opinion about, and they said there was nothing wrong if, you know, the therapist, she wasn't in recovery, but she trusted more, I guess, the fact that she was in recovery. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she said that, you know, I think that I'm always going to have that kind of therapist, somebody that's, you know, been in recovery. And she said, nothing against the people that aren't in recovery, but. Yeah.
And that's so true. I felt that way as an individual in recovery, is that it's all fine and good for the people that are in the helping profession, especially with, you know, substance use disorder or any sort of counseling or therapeutic need, you know, provider or whatever you want to call it. But for me, at the end of the day, I benefit more from talking with, you know, if you want to call it quote unquote, if it's going to be a professional, someone who's actually been through it, somebody who actually I can look them in the face and, you know, have them listen to my words. And when they nod, I know that they're nodding like, I get it, I understand, or I can relate. They're actually truly doing that out of sincerity and out of reflection on whatever it is that they went through. Not necessarily sharing what that is that they went through, but I have, gosh, is this true? I don't know. I have more respect for the people that, you know, that are giving me counseling, I guess, if they've been in recovery, just because I feel like it's sincere and it's real. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not read out of some book somewhere. And it's not because they, you know, studied it over and over again and read case studies. It's because they are a case study. And so they have every what's the word? I don't know. They have every valid point to say what it is that they're saying about it, because they've been there.
And that hope.
Yeah. And there they are now. Yeah.
And
giving you guidance.
You know, I'm thankful that I went through that. And, you know, when I talk to people, I get it most of the time. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there's some things that, you know, like I've never had an eating disorder. Mm-hmm. Well, kind of, but it was very short-lived. And, you know, there's other things, you know, that people have gone through that maybe they're not an addict, but they're still in that field. And I think that helps a lot as well. You know, my therapist isn't in recovery, you know, but I think her and I get along great. And that's something that's very important too. But yeah, I'm just glad that God helped me, and and this is going to sound weird, glad that I had to go through everything that I went through, you know, sitting in jail and in a room by myself in a Bam Bam suit, mm-hmm. you know, for a week with 12 squares of toilet paper, single ply. It doesn't do anything.
Right.
Oh, so mad. But, you know, that's where I ask God, you know, show me the purpose, show me my purpose in life. And please, Lord, let that be the last time I ever drink. Mm-hmm. So far, coming true. And, you know, lately I've been not afraid to just come out and ask God, you know, tell mm-hmm. God what I want. Mm-hmm. God, this is what I want. And I don't know, everything has just been going so wonderful and so great. Like that 20 minutes this morning felt like forever. Mm-hmm. And the last 2 years seems like forever. And we were watching that movie, Being Charlie or something.
Being Charlie.
And it said something like, there was a joke about time. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you want to live forever? Well, get sober.
Yeah.
Time goes by so slow. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, 2 years ago seems like I was such a different person. And it's just amazing. It really is. And, you know, I was messaging with a guy named Curtis. And, you know, I'm pulling for him. And I don't know why he's going through what he's going through right now. But there's a reason. I don't think it's for him to die. Mm-hmm. You know, I think he's a good person. I think he's got a lot to offer other people. Mm-hmm. And I think he just needs to ask God for, you know, that purpose. And your God could be Jesus. Your God could be whatever. You know, I like to use Jesus. I like to use God, but it's my higher power. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. You know, and there's something, in my opinion, that's out there that's bigger than me, you know, that'll direct me to meet a very important person at a gas station. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it's just crazy.
And it's sad because all of that gets so lost. Everyone, I feel like that, you know, they talk about, they use that word for a reason. You know, people are at their bottom because you've been stripped of, you know, so much of you that you feel alone. You feel like you're not worth anything. You know, your confidence is gone. You have, you know, your self-esteem is crushed. And to feel that, to start feeling that way again, to feel good about yourself, which we're good people. You know, everybody who's struggling we're not bad people.